first and foremost, I would like to, compliment Michael Carrick first and foremost, because I feel like in this match he finally learned his lesson, because you saw, based on the way he approached this game in terms of his starting lineup, he made sure he did not start Sesko, and for all those that have been saying, start Sesko, start him. You saw that when he started Sesko against Newcastle, it didn't work, because he completely broke that chemistry and that philosophy, that have been working for United. And so he started Mbuma as a striker, and then Ahmad on the right, and it worked. And in the first half, although not much really happened, I won't say it was a bad performance. It's just that United lacked, clinical finishing. They couldn't finish their chances, and not just that, they were not also able to, make their shot to be on target. They had only one shot on target and 6 shots in total. So honestly, as much as, yes, it's not good enough, but it's not like they put on a bad performance. They actually played well. But of course, it was in the second half where they did the job and they got the job done. In the 53rd minute, that was like 7 minutes, to the second half. They scored from the set piece. The corner kick did the job. Bruno Fernandes again, the Portuguese Magnifico, as United fans will say, cross it to Casemiro, and then wonderful header from him. But then 11 minutes later, they also went on to concede, and honestly, I would say it was a poor defending, because if you look at that goal, no one was marking Barkley at the back post. So again, we have been saying for years that United need to work on their defending, and that moment there really showed that how weak this United defense still is. And even missing the likes of Martinez, I feel like he's also affecting them more. And Martinez being out because of injury is actually a huge miss for them. But all the same, 7 minutes later, they were still able to regain back the lead. Wonderful through ball by, again, the Portuguese Magnifico himself, the captain, Bruno Fernandes, and then Cunha. The clinical finish, he finished it so well. And then, of course, did that his normal celebration that he always do, since Arsenal. And then Sesko came off the bench, replacing Mbeumo, and then finished the job, scoring the third goal. Again, this is what Michael Carrick should be, doing, because it has been working. You should allow Sesko to come off the bench, not start him. And so as Sesko came in, once he made an impact and he delivered. And in the end, United went 3-1. And overall, it was a comfortable win for United, and also a big one. And they now sit in 3rd place and 4 points clear of Aston Villa now. So it's a massive win for United and a really big one for the rest.